Efforts to replace the current 60-year-old forestry policy for Dominica has moved into a new stage. It will when stakeholders meet this week to further discuss the process of a new policy. Stakeholders are expected to discuss the first draft of documents and are expected to make recommendations that would be incorporated into a final document to be sent to Cabinet for further approval. Ronald Charles is Assistant Protection Officer at the Forestry Division.
Basically, the process for reviewing Dominica's forest policy goes into a second phase, a new stage this week. That is when a number of stakeholders are brought together. They will come together to discuss the draft document that has been prepared. And the idea is basically to solicit the inputs from as many people as possible across Dominica to get their insights, to get their feedback, to get their suggestions, their recommendation into what could go, what ought to go into a new forest policy. Bearing in mind that forest touches the lives of everybody in Dominica, whether you live in the rural Dominica or you live in urban Dominica, forest touches the lives of everyone. We talk of ecotourism. Forestry is the basis of Dominica's ecotourism product. So that is the mindset, the reasoning that has gone into the stakeholders meeting consultation, which is coming up on Wednesday, May 12th. Subsequent to that, there will be another session on the 26th of May, where all the discussions, all the feedback that will derive out of the May 12th discussion will be further refined and brought to bear in one other document, further discussed before it is finalized and sent to cabinet. So it is an open and transparent process whereby people are being invited to comment, being invited to have their say, to make a contribution towards the fulfillment or the development rather of a new forest policy for Dominica.
Assistant Protection Officer at the Forestry Division, Ronald Charles. In other news, efforts to foster greater collaboration between the education and health sectors in gender-responsive HIV prevention will be top on the agenda during a roundtable discussion this week. The roundtable discussion is part of a project aimed at strengthening gender-responsive prevention, given the growing understanding that harmful gender stereotypes and relations are a driver of the HIV epidemic in the Caribbean.
This gender-sensitive approach started since last year with UNIFEM. We're looking at how we can make health and education sectors take on a more gender-sensitive approach in their programming. And this roundtable discussion is the second phase to that. We did presentations last year to the education sector and to the health sector. So what we hope to achieve this Thursday is to foster greater collaboration between the education and health sectors in gender-responsive HIV prevention strategies. We also hope to discuss the role of education sector in HIV prevention. As you may be aware, they are critical in terms of HIV education for the schools. We also want to determine the key areas and strategies for addressing gender, sexuality and human rights for HIV prevention in the sex education and HIV components of the health and family life education program in the schools, to familiarize participants with the sexual and reproductive rights of children and adolescents and the linkages with HIV prevention, and to discuss strategies, policies and programs geared towards young people in relation to gender and human rights for HIV prevention. So these are some of the objectives we hope to come out of this roundtable discussion on Thursday.
National HIV and AIDS Response Program Coordinator Nurse Julie Franton. The roundtable discussion on the gender-responsive prevention strategies will take place at the Garaway Hotel on Thursday from 8:30 a.m. More news. Youth entrepreneurs on the island will soon be enhanced to better manage and develop their own business. This is expected when the Dominica Youth Business Trust Aid Bank, an organization of American States' 7th entrepreneurship program, comes to an end. The 7th Small Business Assistance Assistant Facility Program for 25 young entrepreneurs got underway here today at the National Development Foundation's conference room. Coordinator of the DYBT, Dominica Youth Business Trust, John Roach, says the participants are expected to be enhanced in training with tools and techniques for setting up and managing their own business.
The Dominica Youth Business Trust today will be holding two major programs. One at NDFD, where we have some 26 young people engaged in what we call a small business assistance facility program, being facilitated by Mr. Brendan Defoe of Brass Inc. These young people, for 2 days, today and tomorrow, will be involved in looking at training such as tools and techniques for setting up their own business. They'll be engaged in looking at costing and pricing, business planning sessions, and basically providing these young people with an opportunity to expand their respective businesses.
Meantime, the 4-week 7th Entrepreneurship Development Program is expected to run from today, June 4th, at the Holy Redeemer Retreat House for 30 prospective businessmen and women. It is expected to prepare the young entrepreneurs for the starting of their own business.
Also, today at Egliston at the Holy Redeemer Retreat House, we have some 30 young people involved in, well, in fact, today is the commencement of a 4-week training program, which is called Entrepreneurship Development Program. And today, the young people, well, in fact, during the course of this week in Egliston, they will be involved in AMT, which is Achievement Motivation Training, and PD, Personal Development, where we're actually preparing them to start their own businesses. These young people are preparing to start, basically for their business or operations. The two programs are being funded by OAS, Organization of American States, as well as the Aid Bank, in terms of assisting in the business plan development aspect of the training. So these are two major programs, and we are hoping that that young people can assist in the economic development of the country through this program.
Coordinator of the Dominica Youth Business Trust, John Roach. The Dominica Cancer Society says plans are well underway to stage a grand affair for cancer survivors in Dominica. Director of the society, Father Franklin Coffey, says the society is concerned about the support given to Dominicans living with cancer.
The Dominica Cancer Society is happy to announce that on Wednesday coming there will be a public meeting, and the main item on that meeting will be June, which will be observed as Cancer Awareness Month. An address will be given by a cancer survivor, Bernadette Filbert, and the topic is Don't Suffer Alone, the Need for Cancer Support Group. Don't Suffer Alone, the Need for Cancer Support Group. The society is concerned about, the support that is being given to people who have been diagnosed with cancer. And, we want to encourage people to come to that meeting. We want to encourage, because in one way or the other, has been touched by cancer. And so we're inviting as many people as possible to join us at the Prevost Cinema on Wednesday, coming at 4:30 p.m. This is also an important meeting for us too, because we are making preparation for the 20th anniversary of the Dominica Cancer Society, and one of the highlights of that event will be a candlelight service which will be held at the cathedral. The president of Dominica, President Nicholas Liverpool, is a patron of the society, and we are expecting him to be at that candlelight service as well. We have invited the PM, of course. We expect the Minister of Health to be at that celebration as well. So we are looking forward to a very interesting meeting on Wednesday at 4:30. And again, we want to thank the many, many people who have come forward and have been supporting our cancer survivors in the island at the moment.
Director of the Dominica Cancer Society, Father Franklin Coffey.